Hello and welcome to the interview. The Interstate Road Transport Scheme, known as ISRT, is born out of a supplementary convention labeled AP 1590, establishing a community guarantee mechanism for interstate transit of goods through member states, and forms an integral part of the convention AP 4582 of May 1982. But to look at what the ISRT is all about and how it works, it is becoming effective on the 17th of this month, July. I have Mr. Almami Tal. He is the Executive Director of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. Almami, pleasure to have you on the interview.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Very well. I have just given a preamble as to this ECOWAS Treaty Protocol establishing the interstate road transport mechanism. First of all, can you tell us what is this mechanism all about?
Thank you very much for having us on the interview. Greetings from Kirjula. The mechanism is part of the whole architecture of a series of protocols that ECOWAS, our regional integration organization, is putting in place to ensure that free movement of goods and people within the sub-region is feasible, is also profitable for businesses. So the scheme was provided for in 1982, but because Gambia has had a long run of being one of the major exporting countries in the sub-region because of our peace and stability, we were like the shopping center of West Africa. You would recall that during the 90s, a lot of the neighbors were in some form of conflict. Gambia was an oasis for business. There was a big re-export trade going on. And, you know, we did not need the scheme at that time because everybody would come here and buy. But over time, the other sister ports in the sub-region have gradually learned their lessons and they have become quite competitive. And for us, especially in the Gambia Chamber of Commerce, we are conscious that there is a need to ensure that our businessmen can get their goods to the sub-region as they used to with as little difficulty as possible. So the scheme, in a nutshell, is intended to encourage road transit of goods.
The objective being to facilitate the movement or transit of goods in an efficient and cost-effective manner through the sub-region, through the elimination of restrictions. What are the foreseeable restrictions?
Well, as you would know, any good entering a market needs to pay duties and taxes and custom requirements. But if the good is on transit, it's important that that good is not harassed, is not exposed to the same taxes as it would have paid if at all it was entering the market. So principally the restrictions are, one, duties that the custom offices would have to forego because the good is in transit. And this is why the guarantee scheme has come into place. What the guarantee is doing is like an agreement between GCCI, which is the designated institution for the Gambia, to guarantee to the custom officials and custom authority that the goods, as promised, would be transited through Gambia to their final destination without any pilfering or any exposure of those goods into the national market. So the guarantee is in place to make sure that whatever revenue the GRA forgoes is not wasted, because what would happen is that the port of Banjul will become extremely attractive to a lot of importers who would know that once their goods get to Banjul, it can get to a third destination very quickly.
You are the guarantor, GCCI.
Yeah.
What does your role, what is your role? Mm-hmm. Where do you come in guaranteeing this process?
Yes. From the protocol, there is a requirement for the national authority, that is the Gambia government, to designate a guarantor of the scheme. It can be a private company or private institution, or in the case of a lot of the other countries, the chambers of commerce, because they are the ones who are encouraging and trying to formalize as many businesses as possible. Our role principally is to promise to the tax authorities that any goods that are loaded from the port of Banjul and meant for a third destination, past Senegal, past maybe into Guinea-Conakry or Guinea-Bissau, these goods would be subject to a certain regime, i.e. they would be either containerized or they would be secured in a transport with seals and with an ECOWAS number plate. All of this is to enable the goods to go from the port of embarkation to the port of destination with as little inspection and little waiting time as possible. So our role is, one, to ensure that this paraphernalia is available, that is the ECOWAS number plate, the seals, to make sure that when the goods are being put on board a transport, the stakeholders in the process, that is the GRA itself, the Gambia Ports Authority, the security agencies, and GCCI as the national guarantor, and the Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration. All of these would have representatives at that point, so that when the goods are put together and put in a container, it has to be sealed. That seal cannot be broken, and you cannot open the containerized goods without breaking that. So if that seal is intact, the goods are expected to travel stress-free all the way to their destination. Accompanying them, we would be giving out a manifest or something like a booklet containing all the items that are in that good. This is not only to avoid the putting on board some of the contraband or some of the things that cannot be legally put on that. Secondly, also to avoid overloading, because it has caused a lot of accident and a loss of property and lives. So as a guarantor of the scheme, this is principally our responsibility to, one, provide the ECOWAS number plates, to provide the seals, and to provide the platform where all the stakeholders in the transit business would be there, and they would be able to verify, so that our port in Banjul continues to be competitive, so that when you come in, you know, within 24 hours, you can have your goods on their way to their final destination.
In a world where IT plays a predominantly good role, I mean, modern role, are you thinking of sending this manifest to the respective authorities along the road of transit, so that they will know that vehicle ECOWAS number so-and-so, sealed, intact, manifest contains so and so and so, and so that you can forward to the transit route before they come? Is that in the pipeline, or would that be on at the moment?
This is in the pipeline, and I think you are absolutely right. Technology has come to aid development, and we intend at the level of the GCCI to use it, because all participants within the scheme are going to be registered, and they would be on a database that would be shared with all concerned and interested authorities, from the security to the revenue authority people. And additionally, we would even want to have tracking devices with this, with the technology again. Wherever you are, you have the GPS helping you, because if you see a vehicle that is moving and then all of a sudden is standing for like 1 hour, you may begin to say, well, is it offloading something or is it carrying something on board?